So a function is a process for turning one number into another number. So say like you have a number, kind of visualize it like that. X becomes another number. You could call it y, and that's pretty normal. X and y, but you could write it like oh I don't know m well start with one number, turn it into another number. Oh mo something like that. And in my favorite metaphor, it's kind of like a bodily function like this. So I put food into the function g, and I get g of food out. So there's lots of different ways of writing functions or visualizing functions. You could have a table of values like x and y, and 3 becomes 6, and 2 becomes 4, something like that. You could draw a graph of x and y where this just defines, how x is related to y. But one way to do it is it's called function notation. So, well, let me back up. Here's a function written as an equation with two variables. So, this means I start with this number x, whatever x is. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 1,000, and I do all this stuff to it. I'm processing it. I'm turning it into something else. So I would square it, multiply it by 3, and then add 1 to it. And when all that's done, we would call that y. So this would be x being converted into y like that. So that's writing it as an equation. Well, here's function notation. Okay, you name the function like that. A lot of times people call it f. You could call it whatever you want. Usually a letter would be nice. Okay, that's the name of the function, so the function would be called f. And then you indicate what the input variable is. This is what you're putting into the function. So the equivalent of food in this metaphor. You're saying this is where the food goes, and then this is what I'm going to do to the food. So x is my input variable, and then this describes what I'm doing to x. So I'm squaring it, and then I'm multiplying by 3, and then I'm adding it to 1. And I like this notation. These parentheses kind of actually make it look like a mouth. Like here's f, function f, eating x with its giant mouth, and then it's digesting it or whatever. Okay, so this is function notation, and you could do it with all kinds of functions. Maybe you have a function named m. So m of x would be whatever. You can do whatever you want to x. X divided by m of x is x divided by 2, and we call that f of x is how you read that.